Hi and welcome back to the Small Wood Workshop Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing a dessert. We are going to be doing something which is hopefully out of this world. It's a galaxy cheesecake. So sit back, relax and enjoy another recipe which hopefully you enjoy the taste of later on. Okay, so let's review the ingredients. For the base, we're going to need 150 grams of melted butter and 300 grams of classic as digestive biscuits. Other supermarkets are available. Then for the actual topping, 250 grams of galaxy chocolate. This is 360, so it looks like I'm going to have to try some. We're going to need 300 ml of double cream, 500 grams of soft cheese, a wee bit of vanilla extract, and then 100 grams of icing sugar. Now, the first thing you need to do is crush the digestive biscuits. There are many ways of doing this. I would probably recommend a food processor, throw against a wall, or my personal favourite is rolling pin and a bag. Now, the only thing I would say to this is make sure you've got all the air out the bag first, because otherwise when you use this, it will explode and you'll have biscuit everywhere. So, think of your worst thing, something you want to beat the living crap out of, and do it. I mean, look at that. Perfection. Now the next thing to do is melt your 150 grams of butter. You can either sit on the butter for the next 3 hours, that will melt it. You can put it on a stove. I'm just going to put it in the microwave. Just get it melted and then we'll mix the two together for the base. Okay, I've just put the biscuit into the bowl. 40 seconds, perfect. I'll do it in 2 batches of 20 so it doesn't get too hot. And then all I'm going to do, just mix it all together. For all you blokes out there, think of this as cement. Just go around the outside, put it into the middle, and just keep it going until you get a nice soft consistency all the way through. And as you can see in there shouldn't be any dry digestive. It smells damn good as well. So the next thing we're going to do is then pour this into our tin. Now I use a spring tin for the simple reason is later on it's easy to get the cheesecake out. So as we pour it in, flatten it out so there's a nice consistent base throughout the bottom of the tin. And we're not looking for any moons, we're looking for something nice and flat. Think of this as the Sahara Desert. I mean, not a crater in sight. Now, next job is to melt the chocolate. Now, when it comes to melting chocolate, it can go horribly wrong. So, the few key tips I like to give you are, you can either do it in the microwave, but it's a little bit dodgy. I use a saucepan, and I have a gentle simmer, nothing too vigorous, so it stays around 110 to 100 degrees. I've broken up the chocolate, and the plan is that to get chocolate to a nice consistency when melting is to avoid moisture. So what I've done is I've got a heat-proof pan, which is just bigger than my saucepan. So I'm going to gently cover over the saucepan, leave it on that heat, and then just gently mix every 2 to 3 minutes. And I'll do a time lapse to show you. Now this has only been a couple minutes, and you can see we're already fine again that we're sort of melted. Now some of you might see I'm using a plastic spoon as well. The reason I'm not using a wooden spoon is they actually hold moisture, so anything you can do to reduce the moisture going into the chocolate will help keep it this glossy, silky finish. As you can see, there's no lumps in there anymore. The chocolate's a lovely consistency. I'm now going to take it off the heat and prepare the next part. Now you'll see I have put the chocolate onto a tea towel. Just purely for the simple reason is there's moisture at the bottom of the glass and I just want to prevent any extra moisture. Okay, so what I put in the mixer is I put in the cream cheese, the 500 grams, and I've also put in a little bit of vanilla extract and the 100 grams of icing sugar. So first and foremost, I'm just going to mix that all together. I would advise a slow speed because the icing sugar will go everywhere. Now you can see that's nice consistency. I'm now going to slow it down and add in the chocolate. Just poke this out. Can't waste any, can we? Okay, so now that's all in. I'm now going to add that melted Galaxy chocolate. Now it should be cold enough to touch now. So I'm just going to pour this into the mix. Now I admit, some of you chocolate lovers, this is a lovely sight to see. But please contain your excitement. And we do not want to waste a single piece. Then all we're going to do again is just mix that in. So I'm just wiping it all off on this whisk. Again, maximise everything. So let's pour that back in. And a nice gentle whisk again to get a lovely smooth consistency. The next thing we're going to be adding is the 300ml of double cream. So I'm going to be doing that once this is all mixed in together. What you might need to do, depending on the food process you're using, is you see the KitchenAid around the outside, it just doesn't sometimes get all the way in. So when that's done, all I do is just use my spoon again, push in the outside, and all you do is just making sure the mixture is of good consistency. Now there are many ways of measuring out ingredients. Now you could put your cream into a jug and then pour it in, but I always find you leave a little bit in there. So all I'm going to do is, we've got these scales where I just reset the core weight back to 0 value, and I'm now going to put 300 of double cream in. Now, if you're like me, it's one of those games, you know when you get to a petrol station and you're there trying to click it to get to the nearest pound? This is very similar. Please tell me it's not just me that does that game. Oh, 1 over. Ah, no, spot on. Happy days. I don't think I pre-planned this. So now that's all whisked in. Now all I've done is just taken the whisk out. And to try it, I have just licked the whisk and it tastes bloody good. However, word of warning, if you've grown a beard, be very careful because the whisk and the chocolate gets caught in. It's just not a good sight. So, the next thing, moving swiftly on, is to now add that on top of the cheesecake, on top of the base. Now, what I've been doing I put this in the fridge just to help harden off with the butter. You don't need to, but it just makes life a little bit easier. So, let's pour in the goodness. Give it a final stir. Now I'll let you decide if I've got the mixture out. I think I've done a fairly good job. And then, like before, just smooth it over. You can shake it if you want to. Gravity does most of the hard work for you. And then we're just going to put that in the fridge for the next 5 or 6 hours. Okay then, so it's been 5 hours now in the fridge. I've just taken it out the spring tin and put it onto a plate. And the final element, just to finish it off, is going to be the last little bit of Galaxy, just to grate over the top of it. And voila, we have ourselves our Galaxy cheesecake. Hope you enjoyed watching.